Hey there, if you hear a little bit in the background, we're doing double duty. We got the grandbaby, so he's watching Miss Rachel. So you might hear a little bit of Miss Rachel. Anybody, some of y'all are familiar with Miss Rachel. Anointed Miss Rachel. All right. Welcome to the Midday Moment. I am your host, Dr. Davina Jones, Assistant Spiritual Leader of today's church and Fivefold General for Church of the Everlasting Kingdom. It is my privilege to share with you. Listen, just as you need your physical exercises so that your body can be functional, it can move, it can support you where you need to go and be. So just as you need physical exercises for your body, you need spiritual exercises for your soul. So your soul can show up strong, poised, postured, and ready to help you navigate life. And so I share parts of my spiritual exercise, parts of my prayer life, my study life with you to encourage you about your spiritual exercises. We have very defined spiritual exercises in January. The emphasis was on visualization, visioning, and dreaming. This month, we're encouraging emphasis on fellowshipping, networking, and mentoring. And so, those are examples of your spiritual exercises, how you keep your soul, your heart, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your intellect, your filters, and your will, your acting out. How do you keep all of that flowing for your highest good, and not to your detriment or to your lower vibration, so to speak? Okay. All right. So I have been in a series studying Esther. I've been studying Esther in this series called Esther's Civil Disobedience, and I thought I was going to end it last Thursday, but not so. Got to keep it going, okay? So far we have talked about the fact that Esther indeed practiced civil disobedience, not just to have something to do. She thought that there was a law that had been established, and the law was unfair. It was unjust. The law was unjust, it was unfair, and so she decided there's something that we've got to do about it. Actually, her cousin told her you got to do something, and so she finally agreed. Okay, and so the first point we made, though, in the fact that she practiced civil disobedience, which means in essence she went before the king, and it was unlawful to do so. Without permission, but she did. She said, if I perish, let me perish. But this is important. This is essential. I must do it. But number one, day one, we talked about that before she exercised civil disobedience, she prayed and she fasted. That was point number one. So before you get out here to my some, you got something to do, and you think you the next MLK. All right, you need to pray and fast. Number two, she had an understanding of what she was called to do. She was called to go before the king. Nobody else appeared before the king but her. That was her calling. Part three, everybody has to understand what their calling is, because it's not the same. While she was the one that was called to go before the king, there were others that were aside getting ready to help her prepare this banquet. Mordecai was told to get the Jews together, and so you all fast and pray. All right. Number four, what are you going to say and what are you going to do when you do show up? What you gonna say and what you gonna do? All right. So the king said, okay, since you're here, you have found favor in my sight. Since you're here, what is it that you're asking? And she decided to ask for a banquet. I think it was so strategic. Not sure if she knew the full plan that she was coming into, but I think, she was it to me. I see her inviting him into the energy of love. I see her inviting him, calming him, bringing him into into her atmosphere, so to speak. Let me pull you out of atmosphere. Sometimes you have to shift your environment. And so she was shifting his environment. Sometimes you got to shift your environment in order to accomplish that task. Okay, that was part four. All right. Also in part four, we talked about the credibility. If you're going to do some of this stuff that we talk about doing, you have to have the credibility. She found favor in his sight, meaning she had the credibility. Some things you don't need to be doing because you don't have the credibility. All right, that was part four. Here we are now for part five. So this is part five of this series. So that was the quick review. Here's part five. I find it interesting that when she went before the king and she was literally practicing civil disobedience, the king said, what is it? Not only did she find favor in the king's sight, but the king said, what is it? What before she even made a petition, I imagine he said, "You got to be here for something because I didn't call for you. So if you're willing to put your life on the line, then you're willing to put your life on the line for something. What is it?" And he said, "Just ask. I'll give you up to half the kingdom." So my focus today, why are you really doing this? Because I know some people that'll take that half of the kingdom. And everybody that's still receiving an unjust experience, you're just gonna receive an unjust experience. I know some people. It might have been a time in my life where I may have taken half of the kingdom. Check your moral compass. What is your moral compass? Why are you really doing this? Apparently, she was very grounded in her moral compass because she had an opportunity to say, "Forget y'all. Y'all better take care of yourselves. I'm getting half of the kingdom." Half of the kingdom. This man said, "I'll give you up to half of the kingdom." Where's your moral compass? What are you really in this for? What are you really doing this for? Hey, Lane. Hey, April. What are you really doing this for? How y'all doing? Hearts to both of you. What are you doing this for? Because every last one of us can probably point to somebody that we know they're gonna take that half of the kingdom and run. And sometimes it may have been us in a different light, in a different state of consciousness. Are you just going to take the? Where's your moral compass? I am encouraging you. I'm about done for the day. I got to say the rest of the notes. I got to say the rest of them. I'm encouraging you. Check your moral compass. Okay. Why are you doing something? Are you just doing this for show? Are you doing this because it's popular? Are you doing this because your best friend did it? Why are you doing this? At some point, there's going to come a time when what you're doing will be challenged and we're all going to know, what were you in it for? Come on, we've all seen those forensic shows and how many people get into relationships just for money. Amazing. How many people are willing to even get married just for the money? Come on, you're gonna have to fast and pray so you can see all of these nuances and layers surrounding this issue. What are you really in this for? Jesus had the same experience. Judas was at the table. What are you really in this for, Judas? Are you really here for the miracle signs and wonders? Are you here because it's the new thing? It's just the new thing because it was kind of popular being around Jesus until they was trying to kill him. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna. Oh, it was popular. It was popular being having a front row seat with miracle signs and wonders. Hey, it was popular. That was real popular until it was time to die. Judas took those 30 pieces of silver. Took them. What did you take? Come on, because Judas represents all of us. There's a part of us that's Judas. There's a part of us that's Peter. There's a part of us that Judas. There's a little bit of Judas somewhere in here. Make sure you deal with Judas before you go running up here talking about something. You gonna practice civil disobedience. You here because it's a meaningful experience. You here because I really love the kids. Let's double check that. Because if you just here for the show is not gonna always be a show. If you just here for the crowd is not gonna always be a crowd. What are you doing this for? You getting married for what? You're buying this house for what? I know somebody say she leaves disobedience and go. She leaves disobedience and go through all these different scenarios because I'm trying to show you that this stuff is connected. Just as old as this story is, it's still relevant. It's still right here and right now. Check your moral compass and everything that you do. Ask yourself, why are you doing it? Ask yourself, why are you doing it? Ask yourself. This woman had a chance to take half of the kingdom. Ask yourself why you're doing it. That's it. I'm leaving. I'm done. That's all I got. I love you. I bless you. Hey, you can let him go. I'm done. I love you. I bless you. Y'all take care. Y'all have a wonderful day. Like and share. Don't be stingy. Sign up for the Kingdom Access Network. Catch me on Can. Sign up for the Kingdom Access Network, where you can watch all of these different inspirations on demand, and you don't have to wait for. You don't have to just be relegated to Facebook or this particular YouTube channel, because on Can you have a number of teachers there to encourage you. All right. So come on, say hi to the people since you're running around here. Okay. So you have a number of people that you can watch and be inspired by. Say hi. Look, it's the camera. Okay, you watching me. He's watching Miss Rachel. Okay. All right, awesome. All right, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Blessings to each of you. And we'll see you. Don't press that button. And we'll see you the next time. Okay. All right. Miss April says hi. You know, Miss April always asking, where's that baby? Okay. Love y'all. Take care. Blessings.